or not. I think we're live. Opening the chat window. Okay, this is not exactly what I wanted, but okay. Okay. Let me know if you can see or hear me, please, and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm really excited about this stream. I started it a couple minutes early just so I could kind of see, to make sure we had no technical difficulties or anything like that. I see Jay Medley, Copycat, Ivan Hernandez, Zach TG8494. Hey, everybody, rolling in. I usually give everybody a few minutes to roll in. Hope you all are doing well. I see Andres Chion. I see Tyler Caswell. I'm doing well, thanks. Hope you're doing well. Miss Key is here. Zach TG says, can see and hear you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Copycat, you sound good, meaning the sound is good. Ashley Nicole Cook. Jenin99. Andres. Guy Stickman. Yeah, Lazy Town was all right. It was just, it's different. It's a different kind of show, right? So I'll read messages for just a minute just to give people a chance to get in, and we're going to do the tier list, the Ned's Declassified tier list, which I'm very, very excited about. Hopefully you guys can see it okay, and it's big enough on your screen. I tried to enlarge it a little bit to make it big enough where you can kind of see, you know, what the ratings are. And I haven't really looked at this. I'd looked at it just long enough to know that it was there, and then intentionally did not look at it until just now. So, very excited to finally look at it. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit. That looks good. All right. So if you're rolling in, I see quite a few people rolling in. What I'll do, I'll try to read chat messages. Once I start the tier list, it'll be tougher to do that. If we get any donations or channel memberships, I will stop what I'm doing and read those messages, but I will try and read the others as well. M3RK says, hey man, congrats on the milestone. I appreciate it. Yeah, 3 years. I can't believe it. When I did the first videos that I did, I did not think I would be doing it 3 years later, but it really took off and I started enjoying it. Mama Becca says, I just had a Sprite and hot dog for dinner. The Sprite, where is the best part? I guess you mean that was the best part. I have my Mountain Dew Zero Sugar here in case I need it. Right off the bat, we've got Kaimani Burrell, and I'm going to skip down to the donations as always. Kaimani with the $5 donation says, happy 3rd year anniversary to the channel. I really appreciate it, Kaimani. You have been a big part of that. One thing I wouldn't mind hearing in the chat just as we go along, people will sometimes, this is just really interesting to me, people will often share in comments of my videos how and when they found my channel. So there's people will say, oh, well, I found your channel on the Matilda reaction, or I found your channel when you started doing Victorious, or I found it halfway through Ned's, you know, whatever it is, they'll tell me this is where I found it, and I started watching since then. There are people that have been watching me for a month or two, or just started, or just found the channel, and there are people that have been watching me since, you know, 500, the very beginning, pretty much. I was going to say 500 subscribers. So, crazy that it's now exceeded 22,000, but that's the way it is. So I'll read a few more chat messages, and then we'll do these ratings. What we're going to do, in case you don't know, in case you didn't figure it out from the thumbnail, this was a suggestion for what to do on 3 years. The past 2 years, so 1 year after I created the channel and 2 years after I created the channel, we had, I did a video, I made a tier list video. This year, the honest truth is it was tough to find time to do that and produce all the other content. So someone said, well, just do a stream. Just do a stream and do it live on the stream. So that's what I'll do, which the streams become videos as well. That's how it works. Okay, y'all can kind of see me scrolling through the chat. Let's see. Stephen Turquoise. Stephen does a lot of work on this kind of stuff, putting together tier lists like this and or counting up the potential firings and suspensions for me. He does that. Dan Graff says, are you glad it's summer? By the way, do you have to work over the summer as a school principal? Yes and yes. I am glad it's summer, and you do have to work over the summer. A lot of places will let you do like a 4-day work week instead of 5, but yes, that's actually part of the reason principals are paid more. You may have heard, or you may just know, that principals generally get paid more than teachers, and that's true. However, they work more as well. And yes, they're paid for being a principal and the responsibilities that come with it, but you also work extra days. Your contract is longer, and so you're going to be paid more for those extra days, because teachers are gone. They're just, they don't have to work again until the end of July, pretty much. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Turner Winstead, the guy from Jellyfish Hunters, the My Leg guy. Like 50 people told me that. I'm like, okay. Let's see. John Smith says, I think SpongeBob the Bully was my first. Yeah, that was quite a long time ago. Unless you saw it recently. I know YouTube does promote that video. That's why it has so many views. Stephen Turquoise says, I found your channel when you first started the Ned's Declassified reaction series. That's pretty cool. That was a long time ago, too. Brian Hicks says, I forgot how I found your channel, which is fine. Ivan Hernandez, and this is super interesting. Thank you all for putting this in the chat. I'd appreciate it if everybody just, how did you find the channel? When did you find the channel? It's just interesting, that's all. Ivan Hernandez says, I found your channel in late 2023 when you first reacted to SpongeBob Boating School. Yeah, that's when the channel really took off. If you're familiar with the Google Analytics or the YouTube Analytics, I won't go into that, don't worry. But you see a definite spike, right? Like no one really watched my channel until someone random, I don't even remember who it was, just said, hey, why don't you do the boating school? SpongeBob, there's a boating school. You could talk about the school that they have. And so I did, and that's when the channel took off. So I'm not surprised. JJ Zone says, I got into your channel during January 2025 through Ned's, and that's part of the reason we're doing this today, because I got a few suggestions on what kind of tier list to do, and a lot of people who got into the Ned's reaction series really kind of miss it, and myself included. And I should have worn, for old time's sake, the James K. Polk middle school shirt that I had made. Because it just sits in a closet now and doesn't really ever get any time on the channel. All right, I'm going to read some more, and then we're going to do this tier list, okay? That's why we're here. So please don't leave or you'll miss it. Turner Winstead says, I found your channel on the Demolition Doofus. That was a dark one, right? That was a dark one. Mrs. Puff basically tries to do away with SpongeBob in that episode. Hank the Tank says, happy 3-year anniversary. Anniversary. And Hank, you've been a big part of the channel for a long time, over a year, I think, and especially in streams like this. I really appreciate it. Alex Gillis says, happy 3rd-year anniversary. Been watching your channel since 2024, and I see something here. I'm going to skip down to Kaimani Burrell, of course. Kaimani, principal's office level member. He gifted a free membership, which they randomly do it. J Medley 2004 received a free channel membership. I think it's Hall Pass that you get from Kaimani Burrell. So appreciate that. I just saw it. It's probably been there for a minute. Sorry, I get behind. So I won't get behind. I'm going to try to just read some of these where people are saying where they found the channel and then move on. And we got to do this tier list here in a minute. That's why we're here. So if you'll give me just a minute, I'll do that. Copycat says, been here since your first SpongeBob video. That was quite a while ago, probably 2.5 years ago. I really appreciate the support. M3RK says, that's a tough question. I've been watching for 1.5 years. Robin Cruz says, I found your channel through my recommended page with the video of New Student Starfish. That was the first one. That was the one that did it. That and the Bully and Band Geeks. That was the one that kind of put the channel on the map. And Robin Cruz says, then I subscribed when you did more SpongeBob and iCarly reactions. Roger Zachary says, I started watching The Simpsons episodes. Your channel just kind of popped up one day. Yeah, The Simpsons. That was quite a while ago, which I may come back to it. Some people want me to do some more. Some of the content is probably not feasible for the channel, but some is. Some is fine. Reedley says, it got recommended to me when you started doing Neds. Lathon Lou. Okay, I'm going to skip to just the ones that says where people found the channel. Miss Key, who is a Teacher's Pet level member, said, I found your channel through Neds, by the way. Ashley Nicole Cook says, I found your channel when you started your SpongeBob reactions. A lot of you guys are saying that. Zach TG says, really got in your channel when you started doing Neds. And I think that happens. When I start a new series, I get a bunch of extra people. That happened when we started Victorious. That happened when I did the first couple of My Little Pony reactions. That happened. Okay, Dan Graff says, I found your channel in the middle of your Ned's reaction. I was watching their podcast, and somehow one of your videos showed up. Yeah, because you're watching their podcast. I really wish they wouldn't cuss every other word, but that's a whole nother conversation. Let's see. Minspective says, channel member, says, what is your favorite part about your current position? Just being able to help people is sort of the same. Some of you all know I was a principal for a long time, but I moved into a different, I'm still an administrator. I'm just not a principal. I'm in a different kind of administrative role. But I just enjoy helping people. I get to do that in both roles. Matt Martin says, YouTube randomly recommended you and you were reacting to Ned's Declassified. I've been hooked ever since. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Matt. Turner Winstead. I'm gonna have to skip some of these. I'm so sorry. Hank the Tank says, found the channel through your bully episode. Yep. Mondo Makar says, I found it looking for a SpongeBob quote in a video. Interesting. Andre says, do you think you would react to which hat? I don't know. I'd have to check him out. And yeah, Jay Medley got the free membership. He's a channel member now. Lathon Lopez says, okay. Sorry, I have to skip some of these. I'm looking for how you found the channel. Jenin99 says, I first found your channel with your recess videos, and I got a Paramount Plus subscription to watch Neds with you. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I do feel like that. That's why I say that sometimes in videos that we're like watching it together, because some people do that. Miss Key says, yes, the Polk Middle School shirt. Yeah, I just forgot. I didn't think about it until it was too late. It's not like behind me or something. There is a lot of YouTube stuff in this room that some is on camera, some is off camera, but the shirt is not in the room. Kaimani, member for 19 months. Principal's office level. He's a principal's office level member. We only have a few of those. He says, I believe I found your channel from a SpongeBob video. I don't remember which one, but it's a boating school episode. Yep. After seeing it and how great the community was, I became a teacher's pet and suggested Avatar, the headband, and upgraded to PO, principal's office. Yep. And if you've seen any Avatar, The Last Airbender reactions on this channel, it's basically because of Kaimani. You can thank him. Lathon Lopez says, I forgot how I found your channel, but I didn't watch Ned's Declassified reaction first. Okay. Minspective, channel member, says, I found your channel in 2024 when someone mentioned on the Ned's podcast. Someone mentioned it? That's pretty cool. Mentioned on the Ned's podcast that there was a principal reacting to the episodes. I caught up with your progress just in time for the unveiling of Krubs. Oh, yeah, Krubs. That was, I remember distinctly that episode really got a spike in views, and everybody was saying in season 1, wait till you see Krubs, wait till you see Krubs. Yeah, that was a really cool moment. I want to answer some of these other questions, but I can't. Sorry. MS Fan says, sent flour for 30 joules. And I'll be honest, I don't know what that's about. I think that's a new feature. But thank you. Thank you very much, MS Fan 122. And I think Kaimani did that earlier. Kaimani said he did was some other one. Party hat? Was that what it was? I can't find. Oh, Kaimani sent a party hat for 20 joules. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate that support. Okay, where were we? Anybody else saying how they found the channel? And then we're going to do this tier list. If you're saying, why won't he get to the tier list? I'm about to, okay? I'm about to do it. A lot of people saying congratulations, awesome, crazy, and other people saying congratulations. I really appreciate it. DeLuna Art Studio, I remember him. I do. I found your channel by random. I just looked up Teachers React, and your channel popped up. Yep. Principal Reacts. I try to, that's in every title of every video because I don't think there is. If you search for Principal Reacts, you get me, and then you get other random videos of like a random principal. It's not like they have their own channel, but they like saw something crazy and they react to it. It's like a one-off thing, and then you get a lot of me. To my knowledge, I'm the only ones that does this. MS Fan says, hope all is well. It is. Thank you. Brian Nussbaum, I remember you from a lot of other streams, says, I found you from a reaction or from a recommendation from Ross Bristow. Okay. Anybody else saying where they found the channel? The Book of Dark is here. Appreciate it. Appreciate all your previous support. The Book of Dark. I really do. It's Swillow says, I found your channel around 2023. You became top 15 favorite YouTubers. I assume you mean one of your favorite YouTubers. I really appreciate that. Really do. This is really fun. I'm going to read, after everybody tells me how they found the channel, just because I find it interesting, I'll do the tier list and we'll go into that. Carmichael9601 says, I found your channel during the Ned series. That was my favorite show of all the Nickelodeon shows. I was able to watch all the episodes again after years thanks to you. I really appreciate that. Dylan Casey says, congrats. Appreciate it. Lathan Lopez, I'm biggest supporter who isn't a member. You are a big supporter, and I don't ever want to make it sound like I don't appreciate people who aren't members, because that's not it. But I do try to throw some extra support and attention their way because they do support in a variety of ways. But I appreciate everybody who watches the channel, people who come to streams, commenters, regular viewers, channel members as well, for sure. Let's see. Zach Flakerton says, I found your channel through other review channels like Aggressively Average and Johnny 2000s. Especially since I've started doing Victorious, people will say in the comments, oh, well, Aggressively Average said this, about a particular episode, which I don't have. YouTubers, believe it or not, if you don't know this about YouTube, like we tend to stick together. We tend to support each other. You don't have a ton of YouTubers that like hate each other or like, oh, he or she is more popular than me, so I hate them. That's really not how it works. We kind of look out for each other. And it's a really great supportive network. So Aggressively Average, I don't know them. I did watch a couple of their videos after people said that. I know they're a what you call a faceless channel, right? So they're not on camera. Their little avatar is on camera and they talk, but that's fine too. Let's see. Awesome Crazy. You're a big commenter as well on the channel. Awesome Crazy says, my first video was Max Keeble's Big Move. That was a fun one. I just wanted to look for a reaction and stumbled onto yours and have been a viewer ever since. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate it. Sorry if I skip your question. I'm really sorry. All right. I don't see anybody else. Oh, yes, I do. SJ Sharks Fangirl says, I found your channel back in November through watching reaction channels like Aggressively Average, once again, and you had almost finished watching Ned's Declassified. Yep. Okay, a few more. Let's see. I skipped a few. Peyton Lee, voice actor, says, High School Principal Rehab. I found it from watching your SpongeBob SquarePants The Bubble Bowl episode. Finno Band Geeks, I think is what they meant. Oh no, it loaded a bunch of messages. Where was I? All right, I was somewhere in here. Hold on. We're going to do the tier list in a minute. I know I keep saying that, but I want to read at least the messages from people saying how they found the channel. Andres Chyon says, I think it was when I was just looking for Ned's Declassified reactions. Yep. MS Fan says, found this channel by watching YouTube and scrolling, then later on became a member of the channel. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I appreciate all the channel members. I try to give you guys as much value for your membership as I possibly can, including early videos, members-only videos, and members-only posts. I need to do more of that, don't I? Okay, anybody else? Samantha Robinson says, found your channel with a SpongeBob video. That's a lot of you guys. Hockey Fans 6057 says, I found your channel. I think it was a year ago. It was one of the SpongeBob episodes. Yep. Sorry if I skip your message. Sad Doggo says, I really can't remember. I started a job around the same time. Warrior for Christ channel mod is just saying she'll be here as long as she can. Kaimani says, thank you, and I do love Avatar and hope to get through the whole series plus The Legend of Korra. Okay. Warrior for Christ says, I'm not sure how I found your channel. I don't know if you can find that out. Yeah, I don't think so. Unless you went to your history and searched, I guess you could do that. But I don't expect you to do that, but thank you. C says, that means Brandon is the official principal of YouTube. I have thought about putting that in there in my channel somewhere, the principal of YouTube, because I'm the only one to my knowledge. John Smith says, did you see LS Mark gave you a shout out? I don't know if you mean, John Smith, I don't know if you mean he put me in the video or if you mean he gave me a shout out. I think you mean in the video, right? I did see that. That was really cool. Where I got in, he was talking about this episode. It was called, of King of the Hill, called Peggy Makes the Big Leagues. And he was talking about it and how the episode was kind of so-so. And then he put a part of my video in there reacting to it. And he said, I'd watch Principal Reacts, the Principal Reacts version any day. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. Anybody else? How you found the channel? Matt Martin, thank you for giving me a shout out. No problem. Warrior for Christ says, I've been subscribed since December 12th, 2024. Turner Winstead, do you think you'll do a tier list on Victorious? That sounds like it might be in our future, Turner Winstead. Okay, are you guys ready for... I got a couple more. And then we're going to do the tier list. And I see a donation. Let's skip straight to the donation. 2 donations. Kaimani Burrell, once again, channel legend. $2 donation says, which is great. This is a fantastic community. It is a fantastic community. The Book of Dark. I believe you're in Australia. I think it's probably daytime over there on Monday right now. You said, I remember in The Simpsons once where Milhouse decided to get revenge on everyone, including a boy he had never met before. He called it Prevenge. I haven't seen that, but that's pretty funny. Prevenge, I'm going to get Prevenge, and they haven't even done anything to me yet. I really appreciate the support, Book of Dark. I hope everything is all right over there in Australia. Really appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you stay on the stream during the Ned's Declassified tier list, the tier list rankings. Okay, I'm going to scan through and see if anybody else said when they found the channel. Jay Duck says, I think I found the channel through the new Student Starfish. That was the very first SpongeBob I ever watched on the channel. Sam Cook says, I don't know what video I found you, but it was around a year ago and it was Ned's. Okay. Oh yeah, 6453 says, I found your channel in the fall of 2023. The first 2 videos I saw your reactions to The Bully and Mrs. Puff, You're Fired. 2 very good ones. Another donation, let's skip straight to it because that's what I do. That's how I roll. Emiliano Brito, which I think you've donated once before at least, $4.99. Really appreciate it, Emiliano. He says, my principal bet me I couldn't find a better principal, so I searched and won my bet when I found your channel. Gordy is goated. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool story. I think that's really cool. And you searched and you found me. Not saying that I'm better than them because, we principals tend to stick together as well because it's a hard job. But Emiliano, really appreciate it. All right. Anybody else? If you're waiting for the tier list, please be patient. I'll get to it in just a minute. I just want to make sure I get everybody's how they found the channel. It was right here. This is where I was. Okay. HS Town says, which I love your comments, by the way. I do actually read them. HS Town says, I found your channel due to the math episode of Ned. Yep, I remember that one. Let's see. Peyton. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Where's I was way down here. Yeah, I was way down here. Sorry. Yep, Sam Cooke. I read that. Matt Martin says the journey you took us on with Ned's was incredible. I agree. I enjoyed it. Kind of miss it. But that's okay. We're gonna relive some Ned's magic tonight. Okay. Anybody else on? Yep, John Smith, the LS Mark mentioned me. I was really surprised by that. The only way I knew about it is people started commenting saying, hey, they mentioned you on this other video. Really appreciate it. I left a comment for him as well. I don't know if he saw it. Okay, so I think everybody's saying, I'm ready. Okay. All right, let's do it. It's time to do it. We're going to do the Ned's Declassified. And I had someone put this together for me. I didn't put this together. And I saw that it existed, and then I intentionally didn't look at it again. So I'm not 100% sure which characters that are on here. I told the person who made it at least have them be in like 2 or 3 different episodes, not just these one-off characters. So let's do it. Okay, so the very first one, I don't remember, it's this girl right here. I don't remember her name, and I'm going to have to do this window differently, or else I'm not going to be able to see the chat while I do this. Don't like this. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Let me reposition the window just barely enough to where you can see the chat along with the tier list. That's not going to work, is it? Hold on. Nudge it over just enough. I think that's good. Okay, and hopefully you all can still see it nice and big down there, right there. All right, here we go. So Bitsy, thank you, JJ Zone. She's kind of like OG Missy. I feel like they made Bitsy and they didn't like how annoying she was, and they sort of toned it down a little bit with Missy. Bitsy is awful. I only remember her from like 1 episode, maybe 2 or something, or maybe a few episodes, but the one I remember her on the most is the cheating one, where she just, I've seen plenty of students cheat in real life. I've never seen anyone cheat as blatantly as Bitsy did. She got caught by the Spanish teacher, and she's just like, well, I'll just find somebody better to cheat on. And the teacher was right behind her, and it's like, busted. Bitsy, I cannot think of any redeeming qualities for Bitsy. I really can't. She just cheated and didn't care. She's getting F tier. She's getting F tier. There's not a whole lot for me to say. She was awful. And these, I don't know what order they're in. I see that Cookie is next. So we're starting with the heavy hitters. So here's the thing about Cookie. All right. If I were to rate him after seeing like season 1 and maybe even season 2, I would probably put him on like A tier, because he really just sort of, I mean, he had his little gadgets, and he would do these quirky things like he would just have fun. He would just do little funny things, right? He wouldn't hurt anyone or hurt anybody's feelings. But once you got like midway into season 2, he started just not caring. And I'm trying to look at the chat too as we do this. But if we get more donations, I will stop and pause and go directly to your chat message, okay? So Cookie, the second half of season 2, as I recall, he starts with Lisa. I'm starting to forget the names of the characters. Lisa, and then it was what's her name? The girl that he pushed her grandmother down the stairs. I forgot her name. The other girl. He just started not caring, and then in season 3, he went just full blown like egomaniac with I'm thinking of the last little episode, which was really like 4 episodes. He didn't care. He had the eagle. It wasn't the eagle. He looked like an eagle. He just did not care. And I don't know. He doesn't deserve F tier because, he was all right. He was just kind of a fun-loving, quirky tech guy who kind of got in trouble a little bit during season 1. I'm trying to like average all that with season 2 and 3. In season 3, he was just downright awful and didn't have any redeeming qualities. He didn't care who he had to hurt, whose feelings he had to hurt to get what he wanted, right? And he sort of started that way in season 2. I see another donation. The Book of Dark, $2 again. Another donation from Book of Dark over in Australia. He says, react to Darman, please. I want to, and I probably will. You have to realize that some of his videos are probably too crazy for the channel. So just realize that. But if there are any Darman videos that I can look at that are probably okay, I will do that. I've heard it's really crazy. I've seen snippets of them. So if you know of a particular video that's probably tame enough for me to watch on this channel, let me know. Thank you very much, Book of Dark, for the donation. All right, so back to Cookie. He does not deserve anything higher than C tier, I'll tell you that. Because of his actions in Season 3 and the latter part of Season 2, I may have to even give him D tier. I think I'm tempted to give him C, but the stuff that he did in Season 3 was really kind of terrible. Cookie, as you know, I remember the funny stuff, the cowboy cookie. Remember that cowboy cookie? Da, da, da. I don't remember the name of the song, how the song went, but he was just a fun-loving guy, and then he turned like almost evil. Like he was just so bad. I am tempted to give him C tier. If I change my mind, I can move it. I can manipulate these up or down. I'm giving him D tier right now. We'll see how I feel at the end of the video, at the end of the stream. So he almost could be C tier, but he was bad, y'all. He was bad in the last 2 seasons because he wanted to date Lisa, or he wanted to date Vanessa. Thank you, Minspective and others. Vanessa, and he just didn't care what happened, as long as he got to do that. All right, Missy. Missy is an interesting one. There are some episodes where Missy is awful. Missy at her worst is the popularity episode, if you remember that, where she had her own club that was supposed to teach them to how to be popular, but it was really just like to get them to do whatever she wanted, if you remember that. And then the one where she kept giving Ned like weird makeovers was kind of weird. There are other ones where she wasn't that bad, where she still had her little attitude, but she like was sort of helpful. I'm trying to think of specific examples, but I know that she was not horrible in every single episode. Where there was a string of episodes where she was kind of Ned's friend, and they were sort of dating, but sort of not. And she was, she didn't do anything to hurt anybody necessarily, but she does have a bad attitude. And she is a little bit like Cookie in the sense that she just manipulates people. She just manipulates people all the time. However, there are some episodes where she's not that bad. I think I'm going C for this. Missy was all right. I'm tempted to give her D. A few of you guys are saying D. Again, we can change it later. And Missy's up here twice. I don't know why Missy's up here twice. I think that was a mistake. But I'm going to give her C tier for now, and we'll see. I can always move it. I can move it up, down, whatever I want. it's sort of tough with Missy because, like Cookie, he had some episodes where he was all right. He was a kind of a positive force in the episode, and there were others where he was absolutely horrible. It's kind of the same thing with Missy, but she's, in my mind, Cookie's worse. Cookie's just worse. By the end of season 3, by mid-season 3, he had like no moral compass at all. So, all right. So far we've got Bitsy at F tier, Cookie at D tier, and Missy at C tier. Next is, oh man, we're going with the heavy hitters first. Mose. I'm thinking back to my potential suspensions video. There's a video on this channel where I did all the potential suspensions. She didn't get that many. And honestly, when she did get a potential suspension, more often than not, she got dragged into it by Ned. Ned was sort of manipulating her a little bit. I can't think of a single time, and maybe, there's a lot of episodes, and I haven't watched them since the end of my reaction series, but I can't think of a time where she, came up with an idea to do something wrong herself and just, act it out. I really can't. The times where she got potential suspensions on this channel, Ned sort of roped her into something. So Mose, she's way up there. I could say A tier, but I think I'm going to have to give her S tier just because in her character, she's always positive, no matter what, right? I can't think of anything she really did that's really negative unless she was trying to help Ned out. So, I can change it later, but Mose is going way up there on S tier, and I don't know if she's going to be the only one. Hopefully not, but she's really good. You guys are kind of. I'm looking back at the chat. Hank and Ridley and Dylan are saying, a lot of you guys are saying S or A. Yeah, I'm giving her S tier. Again, the main reason is, although she did get a few potential suspensions on this channel, I can't think of an instance where she's like, yeah, I want to do this, and I know it's wrong, but I don't care. I want, what I want. I don't recall that. So she's always trying to help other people out. So for that reason, she's getting S tier. Let's see who's next. Ned himself, right out of the gate. And we have a lot of characters to go here. It looks like something like 20, 25 characters. Ned himself. So Ned has evolved a little bit too, but he's been a little bit more consistent. I think more often than not, Ned's heart is in the right place, right? He goes a little off the deep end when it comes to Susie. Especially in season 2 and 3. And there are a few episodes where he's like, his attitude is like, I want to date Susie and I don't care what happens. A little bit like Cookie, but not quite so much. He's not quite willing to just run over people and hurt people's feelings. And the whole thing throughout season 3 was, for most of the show, Ned and Mose don't really even know that they like each other, and they think of themselves as friends. And so in his mind, by trying to date Susie, he's not really hurting Mose, right? He's not trying to do that. However, there are some episodes where he's a little devious, right? And he breaks the rules, and he does so intentionally. I've seen him skip school. I've seen him skip class. I've seen him do things to date who he wants to date that are not exactly ethical. You guys are saying B for Big B. It might be A, B. A couple people. One person said S. Oh, S for the guide. Yeah, the guide. When I think about that and I average all that together, I'll say this. Even in the episodes where Ned acts out, I think it's going to be A or B. But here's my reasoning. I think I'm leaning towards A, and here's why. With some of the other characters that act out, they don't show remorse, right? they do what they want to do, and they either succeed at acting out or they fail at acting out and get in trouble, and that's sort of it. They're like, oh, I got caught. With the Neds, 9 times out of 10, because this is the flow of the show, right? He does something he's not supposed to do, learns some sort of lesson from it, and then you see there's the guide. What is it? Right here on the screen here. I didn't realize it was visible back there, but he puts it in the guide, and he comes back to the guide and he says, "Here's a tip. Here's the tip, that he wants the audience to get." And I think because of that, because he uses those life lessons to benefit people, and he 9 times out of 10 has remorse and changes his tune at the end, I think I'm going A tier for Ned. He's acted out, and he's been potentially suspended plenty of times on this channel, but he usually comes around at the end and says, "I was wrong," basically, or make sure you do this, or make sure you don't do that, and sort of learn from his mistakes. You guys are saying B tier. I was sort of thinking that, but if you factor in, he always comes back at the end and says, he doesn't say it this way, but he basically says, "I was wrong," or "you should do this," or "don't do this." Basically, learn from my mistakes. He usually comes back at the end, and yeah, like Hank is saying, shows character. All right. So next we've got Susie. I can't think of a lot of times when Susie acts out and just breaks the rules. She does have a little bit of an attitude. She's not, she does have a bit of an attitude problem, not quite so bad as Missy does. And with all the stuff with Ned, 9 times out of 10, it's Ned who's sort of either tricking her or trying to pull one over on her. I don't see a lot of her doing that to Ned. However, she doesn't have the heart of gold, so to speak, like Mose or even Ned does. She's sort of in it for herself. She has kind of a selfish attitude sometimes. All in all, she's not that bad, but she does have a bad attitude. I mean, let's admit that. Let's be real. She does have a bad attitude, and she is sort of selfish, but I've never seen her do anything really malicious, just trying to hurt someone or hurt someone's feelings. You guys are saying B, C. I kind of agree with that. I was thinking B. I think she's going to go B tier. Again, bad attitude and selfishness keeps her off S tier and A tier. I've never seen her do anything really helpful to someone, just for the fact that she wants to help someone out. Mose does that all the time. That's why she's sitting up there on S tier right there. But Mose does that every single episode. She's just trying to help people, shows humility. Not Missy, Susie. Here and there, she's helpful, but her bad attitude and her selfishness is going to keep her off. B tier, I think, is a good, solid fit for her. Yeah, B for bad attitude. B, not that bad. Okay, next is Evelyn, and as I look at these characters, the names come back to me. They sort of jog my memory. Evelyn was all right. There were a few times where she was really harsh, and I was about to say that she's never done anything that malicious, but she sort of has. I remember a moment where she basically manipulates the manipulator, Cookie, manipulates him. She says where she either wants to go out with him or wants to go on a date with him, and is like, she shoves a present in his hand. He's like, "Hey, give that back." And then she's like, "Oh, for me?" I mean, just straight out manipulation. And of course, she is very, very, very harsh. She has her moments when she's, not bad. She's an excellent student. I've never seen her skip class or anything like that. She has straight A's like Cookie does. She is very harsh and very selfish as well. She and Cookie have a definite selfish streak. That's hard to say. She's not going in on S tier, I can tell you that. She's not, I don't think she's quite up to A tier. It's going to be a B or a C for me. I don't think she deserves D or F. I've never seen her do anything like that, malicious or break the rules. I don't know. I'm trying to think back on the episodes. that she was in. She is quite manipulative. She can be manipulative, Evelyn can, and she is sort of like, I don't know, almost violent a couple of times. I could almost give her B, but I think I'm going to go C for Evelyn. She needs like C.5, in between B and C would be what I think be the perfect spot. I'm putting her on C tier up there with Missy. Not that she's the same as Missy, she's different, but manipulative, just like Missy was. You guys are saying C and D, C through F, JJ Zone says. Yeah, Evelyn Kwong was her name. All right, this is Mr. Sweeney. Mr. Sweeney, all these characters kind of evolved over time, especially if they're a character, and I have something in my eye here. Hopefully it will come out. A lot of characters that have been in the show, the whole entire show, they evolve for better or for worse over the life of the show. And sorry about me rubbing my eye here. Eventually it'll come out. I'll just have to deal with it. But Mr. Sweeney starts out like really harsh, like he's a really harsh character, and you start to see in season 2 and 3 that he really does care about the students, and a lot of students in real life miss that a lot of teachers that hold students accountable at a really high level, they do it because they care about them, and you see Sweeney particularly at the end, do that. Now, I don't condone the last episode, him just straight up lying about his whereabouts. That got him a potential firing. But Sweeney, all in all, is pretty good. There have been times where I didn't agree with some of his decisions. There was a time where, I think in the hall monitor episode, he just straight up went shopping when he was supposed to be on duty, that could get you fired in real life. But he's way up there in my book. I think he may be worthy of A tier. So there's an argument to be made for B tier, but I think I'm going A tier for him, and I'm looking at what you guys are saying. JJ Zone said C, Hank said A, HS Town said A, Mondo said S for Sweeney, Midnight Kitten says A, B, lean toward A. Dylan Casey says, I say S or A. I think I'm going A tier. I think that's a pretty solid position for him. He's up there. Sweeney was a good teacher. All right, the coach. Oh, man, Coach Durga. Coach Durga. I'm forgetting their names. Coach Durga. Coach Durga is generally a positive teacher, kind of that tough gym teacher that we've all known, and you do have those women as well, plenty of female gym teachers who are kind of tough as nails, and she definitely is. The thing is, I've seen her break the rules a lot, quite a bit with certain things, and the way that she treats students, you just can't do at times. And, there are gym teachers in real life that get in trouble for that. For treating students too harshly. She's not S tier, and I don't think she's even A tier. But she's going to be somewhere in the middle. She's not F. She's not D. Just like her coaching Mose in volleyball, she shows that she does care about the students. I remember also in the bodybuilding or weightlifting episode where she really encouraged Ned and was a mentor to Ned. I think we may be looking at a B tier. She did sort of skirt the rules a couple of times. You guys are saying C, D, B, tough but fair. She's done some awful things. Yeah, that's why she's not on S or A. You could argue C tier. I think I'm going B. I think I'm going to go B tier for Coach Durga. She was all right. If she could tone it down a bit and not break the rules, she would be higher on this list. All right, Billy Loomer. Billy Loomer. I'm torn on Billy. Now, just for the bullying alone, he's not getting S tier, and I don't know that he's getting A tier, okay? However good he may become. In Season 3, he sort of lightened up, right? And I'm not talking about the different version of him that makes an appearance at the end and offers everybody cheese trays. That was pretty funny. But the bullying. I mean, I've seen him put people in lockers and chase them around and do all sorts of stuff to people to straight up bully him. So for that reason alone, he's going on B, C, D, or F. I don't think that he has some redeeming moments where he's not that bad. I don't think he's F tier by any means. D, I don't see. I can't put him at D. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a C tier. I like Loomer. He's a likable character. Just for all the bullying, you can't put him in the top 3 tiers. I don't think. I think C it may even be a little generous on that because he's such a bully. But in the grand scheme of things, what he does for the bullying is not all that bad. I've never seen him beat anybody up, like for real. But you guys are saying D, bad guy Billy D, C, D, C, S tier all the way from Zach Flakerton. Yeah, I would almost put him on D tier here, down with Cookie, but I think he deserves C. He redeemed himself to a degree in season 3, so I think C tier is appropriate. Jay Medley sent press F for 10 jewels. I really appreciate that. I'm not extremely familiar with the jewels. I'm just scrolling up to see if anyone else did that. If anyone donates, I will stop and read your comment as we go through. iTeacher, you see her little icon here and her screaming at somebody. She's not great. She's very harsh, very bad attitude, speaks negatively about teaching, from home or whatever she does. She does have moments that she does help Mose. I do remember on a couple of episodes her helping the kids out, particularly Mose. It was the one where she overreacted and she said, you gotta chill. Do y'all remember that? You gotta chill. And she went too far in the other direction. And then iTeacher did help her out with that. I've never seen her just outright break the rules. She just has a bad attitude, and she's too harsh with the kids. That's the main issues with her. That's gonna keep her off of S tier, off of A tier. I don't think I can put her at B tier. I just don't think I can put her at B tier. She's going to be a C, D, or an F. Because she helped Mose that time, I can't put her at F. I really can't. I can't think of too many other redeeming qualities. I think she's a D tier. I'm going D. Yeah, and you guys are all saying F tier. I think really just because she helped that Mose that time and was kind of genuine about it and gave her some good feedback, and that feedback got her out of that funk she was in where she was just too apathetic about everything. I think it's D tier. I think I'm putting her at D tier. Yeah, D tier, Orbulon Thunderdex. It's going to be D. Yeah, I don't particularly like her. A lot of you guys are seeing F tier, Poker, JJ Zone, Mondo, Miss Key, Hank the Tank. I don't particularly like her, but she did help the kids out a couple of times, so I'll give her that. Principal Pal. Okay, Principal Pal. I like Principal Pal as a person. As an educator, he's awful. He's awful. He has no business working in a school. Unfortunately, and I see Colin McElhaney, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, upgraded to honor roll membership. Really appreciate that, Colin. Hopefully you enjoy my members only content, and you, my friend, now have access to all of this week's videos. If you don't know this, if you are honor roll and above, you get access to all the week's videos all at once, including Victorious, including SpongeBob, and the Saturday video on Sunday morning is usually when you get it. And there's a bunch of members-only videos out there that you can now watch. So congrats. Principal Pal. So I like him as a person. Once again, I like Gordy as a person. We're going to talk about Gordy. I cannot in good faith put him anywhere high on this list. He's kind, but he also tricks them a few times. On the Halloween episode, he tricks them into thinking that he's dead and really scares them. He constantly falls asleep. He He's done some things that would get him fired for sure in real life. I can't put him at S, A, or even B. I don't think I can do a C. D or F tier. I can't think of too many times where he's helped the kids out. I gave iTeacher a D tier instead of F tier because she helped him out, helped Mose out a couple of times. I can't think of a time that Mr. Powell was really helpful. He did okay on when he came back as a teacher. Remember that? He retired and then he came back as a teacher, which does happen. That has happened in real life. It's more common for teachers to do that, but I have seen a principal do that in real life. But he was all right. He was a better teacher than a principal. I'll give him that. But on his little social studies project, if you saw my the race or whatever, it was not well put together. It was not instructionally sound. So I'm gonna have to put him in F tier. I'm sorry if you disagree. I'm gonna have to put him F tier. If he was a little better of a teacher than he was, I would bump him up to D. But he's getting F tier. Hank said F. Miss Key said F or D. Zach said D. Yeah, there's an argument to be made for D, but I'm giving him F tier. All right. Oh, the Weasel. I'm like, who is that? I didn't notice who that was. I don't know how big these icons appear on your screen. I tried to make it a little bigger so you could see it. The Weasel. Okay. Excuse me. I've been talking a long time, not nonstop. And I guess we've been on for nearly an hour now. So the Weasel, what can I say about him? He's an integral part of the show. He's a weasel, for goodness sake. He's going to be way up there. I think we have to give Weasel, we have to give him F tier. I mean, we just do. It's not logical. It's not rational, but he's the Weasel, right? He's the Weasel. What more can I say? He's the Weasel. He's getting S tier. All right. And what's funny is everybody in the chat is either saying S or F. You could argue if we were rational about it, he did sort of mess up the school, but you know what? He's the Weasel. He's getting S tier, not F tier. Okay, Jock Goldman. Can't believe I remembered that. You know, the first episode you see Jock Goldman is in the episode 8th Graders, and then you see him again when he tries to date Mose. And in those episodes, he is absolutely horrible. If I were to rate him on those episodes alone, it's F tier. It's absolutely F tier. However, he redeemed himself a little bit in the tutoring episode because he tried to help Ned out. However, he was doing it for a very selfish reason. He said at a certain point, Ned turned to him and he said, "Are you just helping me to get to Mose?" And he's like, "Yeah." At least he's honest. But in my mind, he redeems himself a lot at the end of season 2. If you remember, he goes on a double date with Ned and with Mose. He's with Mose. Ned is with... Who did he go with? Susie, I think. And they wore the exact same outfit, and then you have the big moment that happens at the end. But during that episode, Jock is kind of normal and almost helpful, and supportive almost. I don't see him do anything wrong in that episode, so that probably bumps him up a letter grade. So we can't give him F tier, and he's not getting S, and he's not getting A. I don't even think I can give him B. It's either C or D, in my mind. Again, toward the end, if I were to rate him solely on the episode where they have the international night or the cultural festival, whatever that is, it would be like A or B, right? But because of all the shenanigans, the bullying during the 8th graders episode, the manipulation of Mose was probably the worst thing he did. Pretend that he likes her to get somebody else jealous and then just dumps her instantly. That was pretty bad. That's going to pull him down. I think he's going to be D tier. Again, he did redeem himself a bit. I can't give him F tier because he did redeem himself toward the end of season 2 and was more like a normal guy. But I think I'm going D tier for Jock. Let's see what you guys are saying. D. I see some Fs. I see a C tier. There's an argument to be made for C, but I won't do it. F tier, again, I can't give him F because toward the end he was all right. And he did try to help Ned. Granted, he just gave him the answers, and he did it for a selfish reason. But if it weren't for that one episode that I keep referring to in season 2 where he's on a double date with Ned and Susie and Mose, then it would be F tier. But he redeemed himself a bit. He pulled his grade up a letter grade, let's say that. Okay, Doris. I remember Doris from the Huge Crew. I was kind of disappointed, and I think you guys were too, that they got rid of the Huge Crew. It was such a huge. I didn't do that on purpose. It was such a big part of the show, season 1 and part of season 2. Now, she's a bully, okay? So you can't give her S tier or I think A tier. She, at one point, it was such a funny moment in Ned's when Mose, that she was talking to Mose, and she's like, we could rearrange your face. But she meant like makeup or whatever. But yeah, she has made threats, and she is a bully, and she has put certain pressures on Ned as well that are inappropriate. So you can't give her S, and I don't think you can give her A. I don't think she's F tier either. I haven't seen her do anything that menacing. I have seen her bully people, though. She's a bully. She is a bully. I think it has to be C or D for Doris. D for Doris, maybe. I don't think she's as bad as Cookie and Jock. I don't think it's that blatant. I think I'm going to go C tier for Doris. She's a bully. You can't give her very high, but she's not all that bad. You know, she just has some issues that she has to work out, I think. You guys are saying D, C, D, A, or a huge part of the school. C, S tier. Zach's just putting everybody on S tier. Zach Flakerton. I see your comments here. I think C tier is a pretty good place for her. All right, so we've got 2 S tiers, 2 A tiers, 2 B tiers, and I didn't do this on purpose. I'm not evening them out on purpose. It's just the way it is. Next is Gordy. I didn't know Gordy was next. Okay, wow, Gordy. If I rate him on his character and his personality, it would be S tier. I cannot ignore him getting over 100 potential firings. If you've seen my video, I did a potential firings video, but Gordy required his own potential firing video. If you've seen it before. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on my Ned's playlist. I'm going to try to put this video that we're all on right now on my Ned's playlist as well as the live streaming playlist. So, Gordy, and you guys are saying S tier. I want to. I really want to, because he's so likable, right? He's so likable. He's sort of like the Weasel. You just stick him up there. But the Weasel did not get fired by me over 100 times. He has had the kids, in his closet a lot, talking to them, having them skip class, helping them to break the rules, breaking the rules himself, sleeping on the job, all sorts of stuff. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't put Gordy on S tier. I want to, but I can't. By the same token, I can't put him on F tier either, simply because he does sort of have a heart of gold, so to speak. He's just a really bad employee. He's a really bad employee. He needs to go find another job and he would be fine, you know? I can't put him that high just because he broke so many rules and just he would have been fired so early on in the series, but I can't give him F tier either. You guys are probably going to be upset with me. So, Gordy, he wants to help and he's helpful and he does have a heart of gold, but custodians cannot get involved with kids' lives and help them like that. In any real world situation, it would get them fired. I want to put him way up here. I want to give him C tier. I just can't. I cannot in good conscience give Gordy C tier. It would be like I was condoning everything he did. I think I'm going D tier. I know you guys may be upset with that. I cannot put him any higher than that. I put him at D instead of F because he does have a heart of gold. He does have, I think his heart is in the right place. But you know what? There are plenty of people in real life. I've seen them and worked with them for myself who want to do the right thing. They just, school is not for them. You know, they just get themselves in trouble because they cross too many professional boundaries. Okay? So, sorry, you guys. Gordy, D tier. I think objectively we sort of have to do that. Gordy is a good guy. I see you guys saying he's a good guy. Sorry. That's my rating. You guys can rate him up there if you want. All right, we've got Nurse. I forgot the nurse's name. I know she's got a weird name, I think. She does her job. You know, I think she got a potential firing maybe once or something, once or twice. She does her job. I remember, speaking of the international night, or whatever they called it, she left home and came to the school to give Ned a remedy when he was sick. Do you remember that? It was after hours. She didn't have to do that. She was off duty. They could have just sent Ned home or called his parents or whatever. But she came up to the school, and I think she was in her in her robe or whatever to give him a remedy for his little problem he had, his little digestive problem. She's all right. I don't remember her doing anything like clearly wrong, except for a couple times maybe not contacting parents. That would get you in trouble in real life. But she's gonna be up there now. Is she stellar? Does she go out of her way to help the kids? No, she's sort of in the middle. But for that one time she came up there and helped Ned out after hours when she didn't have to. I think I'm going B tier for her. She wasn't really too bad. She was kind of crabby as far as her personality goes, but I can't say that she did too many things wrong. Okay, one of my favorite characters, and looking at him right now, I cannot remember his name. What's his name? Oh, man, I keep going through names. It's not that he's not. He's not. What's his name? I'm looking at the chat. Tell me his name, please. It's Seth. I thought of it on my own. Seth. I almost said like Jeff or Zach or other one-syllable names. No, it's Jeff. Sorry. Okay. It's Seth. So Seth is not very smart. Okay. First off, he does need help in school. I've seen him have to get extra help sometimes. But you know what? I've never seen him like blatantly break the rules either, He's just a kid, and I've met many kids like this. He's just a regular kid. He likes basketball. He likes sports. He played on the school team, He's not too bright. Okay, it is what it is. And he's friends with the kids. He's friends with Cookie and Ned. He sort of dates Mose for a while. At the end, he dates Lisa a little bit, or he's sitting with. Or no. It was uh Evelyn. He's sitting with Evelyn at the end, suddenly becoming smart from being around her. That does happen in real life. But you know, he's not stellar of a character, but I've never seen him like blatantly break the rules that I can remember. So I can't give him F. I can't give him D. He's better than C. He's not quite S. Okay, he's not like Mose, like always looking out for people. It's gonna be A or B for me. And I'm looking at who we have on A, and I'm looking at who we have on B. I think he's gonna be B tier, and the reason why is he's just sort of he keeps to himself. He does his own thing. He never really helps out anyone. Sweeney and Ned help out sometimes. They try to help people. Ned's a little more selfish, but he comes back and gives you the tips. Seth is just sort of Seth. You know what I mean? He's an okay student. He tries. He's sort of limited. So that's my rating. Seth gets B tier. Claire Sawyer, a future lawyer, of course. Claire. I really like Claire. Claire, along with Seth, actually, are one of my favorite characters in the show. I think I like both of them more than even Ned and Mose. So Claire always shows up, and she's got the contract, the thick contract that they have to sign. She's great. I've never seen her break the rules. I mean, how could she, right? She's a rule follower, the future lawyer. She tries to help out in her own particular way. She arbitrates little agreements between other characters. She's up there. I'll be honest with you. Claire's up there. I'm thinking, she's going to be up there, y'all. Claire's going to be up there. I've never seen her break the rules. And I just said that I put Seth on B tier and not A because he doesn't really try to help people out. Claire does. Claire's either S tier or A tier. I'll be honest with you. Claire is either S tier or A tier. That's all there is to it. Given that I've never seen her break the rules, like Ned, who's sitting up there A tier. Mr. Sweeney's broken the rules. You remember that little shopping spree he took during the hall monitor episode, and the fact that he just left Ned up in a tree at the ending? He could have been hurt. I think Claire Sawyer is S tier. I think I have to put her way up at S tier. I don't know if you guys agree with me. She's up there. Claire Sawyer, future lawyer, S tier. You guys are saying S. She's a voice of reason. She deserves an S, says Lucky Go. C, Mondo. Dragon Flare, S, S, A, S. I'm glad you guys agree with me. Most of these, except for maybe the Gordy ranking, you guys are, I think, with me on. Okay? This is pretty fun. I think we're about halfway through. All right. Missy, I don't know what to do with this. I'm going to put her back here. That's just a duplicate of Missy. Coconut Head, who we're introduced to in the first episode, I think before anybody else other than Ned himself, because he talks about the first day of school and getting a last-minute mom job, which is Coconut's haircut. Sorry. I've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes straight, so it happens. Coconut Head. Coconut Head is sort of your basic student, follows the rules. I've never seen him do anything really bad. I want to say he got a note from the Forger maybe a couple of times, who I'm pretty sure is, what's his face? I forgot his name. What's his name? What's this guy's name? The second guy, the guy whose actor was kind of having a hard time. And it starts with an M, maybe. I forgot. Y'all will tell me in a minute, I'm sure. Anyway, Coconut Head. I've never seen him really blatantly break the rules. He's not stellar. He just sort of, keeps to himself. He's always the kid that gets scared, or like someone scares him and he has to run away from them. If there's ever a situation where the writers needed someone to run away from a student because they were scary or threatening to beat someone up, it was always poor Coconut Head. Martin Quirley. Yeah, thanks, y'all. I see there's a little bit of lag. There's always a lag in every stream. But yes, Martin Quirley. Hopefully the actor's doing all right. I saw the whole story where Cookie, the actor who played Cookie, went to help him out and found him. Coconut Head, he just sort of blends in, and there are plenty of students in real life like this. So, he's not F tier. He's not D tier. He's never really done anything blatantly wrong. He's sort of a likable character. I like Coconut Head. He's not C, I don't think. I think he's B and above. I don't think he's S tier. I don't think he's A tier because he doesn't really go out of his way to try to help people. I think I'm going B tier for Coconut Head. He's a good student, positive. He's just sort of a side character that encourages Ned and the others at times. You guys are saying, like, all of you guys said Martin. Yeah, Martin's next. Hopefully you guys agree with my rating. I'm put Coconut Head at B tier. You never know his real name. You notice that? Just Coconut Head. At first, it sounds like a nickname, but they never tell you his real name. It's always just Coconut Head. All right, Martin Quirley. I really like Martin. He's one of my favorite characters. Very positive. One of my favorite Martin Quirley moments is the Spirit Week episode where Ned is trying to get the Spirit Stick, which is a real thing in many schools. And he comes out. Oh man, I wish I could replay it. I'm gonna watch some of these moments on my own later. But the moment I'm talking about is where him and Ned kind of have this little spirit battle, and he comes out, and he's always very positive and has kind of a neutral look on his face. But in this episode, he's got his eyebrows down. He's like serious. He's gonna, he's like he's gonna do something. But Marty is always very helpful. Very helpful, very positive. I've never seen him do anything malicious. So just like I said about the others, all the characters that kind of don't do anything positive are kind of B tier. They're positive, but they don't go out of their way to help people. I think Martin does more than most people. However, he was the forger, I believe, forging some notes in exchange for little treats or whatever. I would almost give him S tier. I think he's a solid A tier. I think I'm going A tier for Martin. Not quite S tier, but he's a really great character, and I really enjoyed him on the series. What are you guys saying? A, S, A. So far, other than Gordy, I'm right in line with you guys. All right, Vice Principal Krubbs. He's an enigma. He's sort of a mix of good and bad. There are plenty of episodes where he tries to help the kids out, And as I spent 5 years of my career as an assistant principal, 2 of those years, I always say on the Victorious reactions, were at an art school, like Victorious. And the other 3 years were at a regular high school. Anyway, you do have to sort of be tough as an assistant principal or vice principal, but you do so to help the students. Kind of a tough love kind of situation. Yeah, Kaimani says VP is a solid F. I can't give him F tier. He's broken the rules plenty of times. One of his worst moments is the principal episode where you're introduced to Mr. Powell and you have the interviews and he's trying to sabotage everybody and he traps people. He basically kidnaps the interviewees in that outdoor courtyard area. So he's not going to get a high rating. Is it F tier? No. I cannot in good conscience give him F tier. I'm thinking a C or a D. I could give him B if he didn't break the rules so much, but he breaks the rules so much. He might be down here with Gordy, but I think he's one better than Gordy. He does try to help the kids, and he does so in a lawful way more often than not, and tries to give them little advice. You could almost put him at D tier, but I think I'm going C. Again, we may change our mind at the end. I'll review the ratings one more time. Yeah, Midnight Kitten Boy says low C. That's kind of where I'm at too. He's C tier, but he's below these others, but he's not quite bad enough to get D. Yeah, C for Krubs. I didn't do that on purpose, Hank the Tank. Okay, Miss the Ukrainian woman or whatever, the teacher. What's her name? Dr. Xavier. I got it. Dr. Xavier. Dr. Xavier is okay. There are moments when she tried to help the kids. Because of what she did, trying to help Mose orchestrate this moment with Feynman, she's going to get a pretty low rating. And using her class to set up a fake situation where she kisses Feynman, basically, I can't give her a high rating for that. And then some shenanigans like giving Cookie a bike ride, and then he ends up getting hurt or whatever. She's not getting a high rating. Is it F tier? No, she does not deserve F tier. She is at least a math teacher and kind of sort of tries to teach them math. She might be a D tier. I don't remember any moments where she's not breaking the rules. I remember when Cookie acted like he was moving. She hit him in the face with a pie, for goodness sakes, or cake. I can't give her any higher than D tier. I think she's D tier. You guys are saying C, 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 a couple of Ds. I think D tier. She broke too many rules, I think, unfortunately. I like her. She's all right, but the lines that she crossed on the show are quite beyond the pale. All right. Comb Over was all right. There were a couple of moments where he actually gave some advice to the kids and tried to help. I don't remember. I think he might have gotten one potential firing. He wasn't that bad. He also wasn't stellar, okay? He was known for having kind of a boring class. Not because it's a music class, but just the way he taught it was not the best. Comb Over, he doesn't deserve F tier, okay? He's not getting a high rating, but he doesn't deserve F tier. I'm thinking a C or a D. I don't think he has the redeeming qualities that these others on C tier do. I think it's D tier for him, honestly. And you guys are saying C, C, D, D, a mixture. I'm going D. All right. I think that's Mr. Monroe. Mr. Monroe was a decent teacher. I actually like Mr. Monroe. I think he got himself in some trouble on the school newspaper episode and broke some rules there where he came back and then immediately started getting potential firings. He was all right, though. He tried to teach a good class. He tried to help the kids. He tried to help them learn. Very positive force in the school. He's gonna get a fairly high rating. I can't put him F, D. He's higher than C. He's going to be an S, A, or a B. Because of his actions on the school newspaper episode, I cannot give him S tier. Okay? For that alone, I cannot give him S tier. He had a couple of, somewhat inappropriate conversations, not real inappropriate, but just he should have referred him to the counselor. Cookie, where he had the personality issue, he needed to refer him to the counselor. I don't know, though. I still think he deserves an A tier. He had enough redeeming qualities. His class was good enough. He tried to help the kids often enough that I think he's an A tier. I'm going to put him at A tier, Monroe. What do you guys think? You guys are saying C, B, A, S. I can't put him in an S. I can put him in A, though. A. I think you guys, watching at home, you and I have been pretty on par, most of us. We've got several to go, and I'm going to need to open my second Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Sorry if that was really loud. I did realize it was right beside the mic. For me to make it through this tier list, I'm going to need me some Mountain Dew, okay? In fact, I'm going to take another sip. Okay, I think I'm good for a while. Okay, next we have Mr. What was his name? The counselor. No, the school psychologist. The school psychologist. Mr. He's got like a one-syllable name. What was his name? What's his name? Mr. Lowe. Thank you, Andres Chion. Yeah, do the do. That's right. Do the do. I probably drink at least 2, 3, sometimes 4 a day. I'm not proud of that. It's probably not good for me, but I do it. I do the do. That and energy drinks. I know I should get off of them. I try to stick to coffee. Caffeine. Caffeine is all right. It's not the caffeine. It's all the other stuff all the time, you know. Anyway, let's keep going. Mr. Lowe is not... I've seen 1 or 2 episodes where he tries to help the kids, but most of the time he's terrible, okay? Most of the time he's terrible. I forgot there was one episode where he like really helped one of the kids. I forgot what it was, but most of the time he's awful. He tries, he tries. He doesn't break the rules blatantly most of the time. I don't know, though. I'm almost going F tier for him. I cannot give him any higher than D. D, and I still might give him F. And I'm looking at these D tier teachers, and they're all better than him. Okay, Comb Over, Dr. Xavier, they're all better than him. Even though he did try, that was my rationale for putting him at D tier. He did try, but he was so incompetent and couldn't hardly see anything. He's F tier. Mr. Lowe, sorry. There was one episode where he tried to help. I forgot what it was. But F tier. He's F tier. Sorry. You guys are saying D. Mondo said F. I think I have to go F tier for him. All right. I'm going to stop right here because we've got a donation. It says, the Book of Dark, $2 donation, says, put him S tier to balance out gender equality. Oh, I see what he's saying, because the only 2 human characters on the S tier are female. I do see that, and we've got the guys on A tier. Hey, I'm not factoring that in. I'm just judging them based on their actions, okay? And letting the chips fall where they may. Thank you so much, Book of Dark. Again, you're still watching, so I guess you're enjoying it over there in Australia. I guess it's Monday morning at this point. I don't know what time it is. No, it's probably like Monday afternoon, right? Over there. Sorry, I'm really thirsty. Okay. Mr. Right. Well, this might be the balancing of the gender equality he mentioned. Mr. Right. If you remember the second year, 1 year ago, actually 1 year ago today, on the second anniversary tier list video, Mr. Right himself got A tier. Or no, S tier. Didn't he? Yeah, I think he got S tier. So, you know where he's going, right? But first, a brief rationale, and I see Kaimani Burrell with a $1 donation. Really appreciate it, Kaimani. I don't see a message there, but I really appreciate the donation and all your support over time. Mr. Right. So, I think he's going S tier. He always, without fail, tries to help the kids out. He's not a bad teacher. He's not a great teacher. He's not the best teacher. I did have some criticism on his teaching methods, but he always tries to help the kids. He has a heart of gold. He becomes principal, and he's a pretty good principal. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I'm going to have to put him way up there at S tier. The only potential firing he ever got was demolishing the school at the end, but, in real life, they were going to destroy the set anyway, so why not? Okay, Principal Wright, Mr. Wright, he's definitely S tier. I already put him there once a year ago on the second anniversary video. Okay, here we have Lisa Zemo. Lisa Zemo. Lisa's going to be up there. Lisa, actually, I was going to say I've never seen her do anything bad. For some reason, in season 3, she gets this big ego. If you remember that, especially the latter half of season 3. I commented on it in my reactions because I don't love the attitude she has. She develops this attitude because she gets attention from some of the other students, and she sort of almost uses them and manipulates them. So because of her actions in season 3, she's not getting S tier. If it weren't for that, she could almost get S tier. She is helpful. She tries to encourage Cookie during the season 1 and 2. I've never seen her break the rules too much. Positive attitude, except in the latter half. Excuse me. In the latter half of season 3, she gets this attitude, right, where it's like, oh, I'm the center of attention, and she gets attention from some of the boys in the episodes, and she just develops this kind of not so great attitude. I'm not doing S tier. She doesn't deserve anything less than B. I'll tell you that. It's A or B, and it's been helpful as I go through these to look at my previous ratings for A and B or for whatever tier, and I can sort of compare them. So on A tier, I've got Ned, Mr. Sweeney. I keep wanting to call him Martin. I've got Mr. Monroe. On B tier, I've got Susie, Coach Durga, the nurse. Why do I want to call him Jeff? Seth, and Coconut Head. I don't know. What you guys are saying? Mostly A, B. Are we to say? Well, I don't know that he's up there. I think she might be. She's helpful enough. She was. I think I was gonna put her at B. Okay, but I think she redeemed herself enough. She was helpful enough in seasons 1 and 2 that she deserves A tier. Season 3 does her actions during season 3 again take her off S tier, but not it pulls her down to A, but not down to B. She redeemed herself enough in the first couple of seasons to earn a spot on A tier. All right, Book Bag Boy. You see Book Bag Boy and Claire in this little tile here. It's Book Bag Boy. Book Bag Boy doesn't have a huge role in the series. He is featured in a couple of episodes, namely the book bag episode. I've never seen him do anything wrong. First off, he's sort of a supporting character. He does help Cookie out a couple of times. There's one episode where, and I don't know how I remember all this. Same thing with SpongeBob. I can pull out episodes like that. But there's an episode where Cookie is running from Evelyn, and he's in the bathroom. He's like, "Please help!" And so they switch clothes with each other, and he ends up getting jumped on by Evelyn so that Cookie can escape. So that earns him some points in my book. He doesn't go out of his way to be helpful. He does help Ned out in the book bag episode. He's probably like a B tier. He's never done anything bad like Loomer has, like Evelyn has, like Missy has, like Doris has. But he's never really been super helpful like Martin or Lisa. He's a solid B tier, I think. What are you guys saying? B, A. I don't think he earns an A quite so much. I think Dylan is right and JJ Zone is right. B for Book Bag Boy, right? Okay, we're getting toward the end. Who is that? Who is this? Is that Gordy again? Is that Gordy? I think that's a duplicate Gordy, maybe. Where's the other Gordy? If this is not Gordy, oh, that's Feynman. I thought it sort of looked like Gordy for a minute, but the shirt is a Feynman shirt. So Feynman appears, I think, in season 2 sometime. Starts dating Mose. until he goes back to Brazil, I think. But he does sort of abandon Mose, but he's honest. The one thing about the characters in this show, so many of them are just straight up dishonest and lie all the time. Feynman, he doesn't really do that. He does sort of say soccer is more important than you, Mose. But at this point in his life, you can't blame him that much for that. For a middle school girlfriend or whatever, versus your career. We can debate that. Okay, but Feynman, I don't think in that point in his life has the capacity to make such an important decision, on his own. And let me take it. I keep hovering over D tier. He's not a F tier. He's not a D tier. Okay, I think we can rule those out. I don't think he's bad enough to be down there. However, I don't think he's S. I don't think he's A. I think it's either a B or a C. And I'm looking at the other characters here. I don't know. I think it's going to boil down to how selfish was he? Did he try to help? Did he do anything nefarious? I don't remember him doing anything too nefarious. I'm very hesitant to put him up here with Seth and Coconut Head. I guess he deserves it. He does sort of abandon Mose, but he is straightforward. I respect that. I don't respect the lying and manipulating that Missy does, that Cookie does, that Jock does. He at least was honest, and you have to respect that. I think it's like a low B, like you guys were saying. It's a B, but it's a low B. You know what I mean? I think that's what I'm thinking for Feynman. B, C. A lot of you guys are saying C. He could be a C. I think it's like a low B, if that makes sense. He's B, but he's a low B. Okay. The lunch lady, the bean reading lunch lady. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Isaac. He did lie. You could almost put him down at C. You could almost put him down at C. I'll think about that. Lunch lady. So she tried to help. She was totally misguided and kind of crazy. She did try to help the kids. There was 1 or 2 episodes. I think she did get a potential firing a couple times. I don't think we can put her at F tier just for being, offering little advice from time to time to the kids. I don't think she's very high up, though. She's not an S. She's not an A. I can't put her at B. It's either a C or a D. The lunch lady. She just... I'm torn. She gave the kids advice, but she also got too wrapped up in their little lives. There is such a thing as giving too much advice to children and giving inappropriate advice, or just getting too close to them. You're not there to be your friend. We do. It sounds mean, but it's true. You're a professional there to teach them, or in this case, to serve them food. I'm gonna have to go D tier for her. I'm sorry. She is a somewhat positive character, but in real life, you would not be able to do that. You can't get all involved and talk to the kids as much as she does. She would get in trouble for that. You guys are saying C or D. S for accurate predictions. I mean, that's sort of true. C. I'm giving her D. Maybe that's a little too harsh, but I'm giving her D. All right, this guy, I forgot his name. He's he's the sewing guy, the guy that can sew and kind of hides it. He's one of Loomer's buddies. But, he does get more screen time at the end. We could almost probably leave him off this list entirely. But I've never seen him do anything that bad other than help Loomer with his plans. He has a hidden talent, that he's embarrassed about. I think Crony, you guys are saying it's Crony. Thank you for that. C for Crony. It might be C for Crony. Right up there with Loomer. I guess I was gonna put him at B tier, but I can't. He's a bully as well. He participated in the bullying. It's gonna be C for crony, so to speak. All right, we're getting toward the end. We've got 4 more here. This is, what's her name? Vanessa. Vanessa was all right. Vanessa had sort of an attitude problem, but she was also honest. She did have an attitude, but Cookie treated her horribly and manipulated her and lied to her several times and pushed her grandmother down the stairs. My goodness. Her attitude alone is going to keep her off S tier. I think her attitude also keeps her off B tier, unfortunately. However, it may be a B tier. I don't remember her doing anything malicious or harmful. I don't remember her doing anything too helpful. She is a little bit, she does, in my view, have a little bit of a selfish streak, and kind of a bad attitude. But she's not down here with Missy, I don't think, or Doris or Loomer. I can't do that. I think she's a B tier. You guys are saying C, D, or I might be behind here in the chat. But Vanessa, that's a C tier. That's a C tier. Yeah, she was honest. Dylan Casey, she was honest, unlike Cookie. Yeah, very true. 3 more. This is the Oboe twins. I thought it was really funny, the episode where the Oboe twins, they sort of copy whoever they're around, and they have all these crazy makeovers, or they copy people, including Ned himself. They become a boy at a certain point, and they copy Mose, and they copy everybody else. So the Oboe twins, I've never seen them break the rules. That alone keeps them off D and F tier, not breaking the rules of the school. They're not A tier. They're not S tier. They're not A tier. It's going to be a B or a C. So I don't think I can put them at C down here with Missy and Loomer, who bullied and manipulated people. That's just not their style. You could almost argue they're just so kind of that they never really did anything, so they're C tier. Well, I don't know. I might. They never. Other than that one episode, they're always sort of a background character. They just sort of sit there. I think it's going to be C tier. I could put them at B. There's an argument to be made. I don't think they're big enough of a character to be put at B tier. I'll put them at C tier. They just sort of, other than that one episode, they're just sort of there, and they don't really do anything. Sorry, I can tell my rating is way below you guys'. I see a B, A, B, B. JJ Zone said they're honest. They are honest. I mean, but I don't think they get enough screen time to really get a great rating. This guy, I forgot his name. Is it Hugh? I forgot his name. Maybe you guys can tell me in a minute. But he talks to himself a lot. He's got some issues going on. He has some anger issues going on. Also, I've seen him get angry a couple of times. He's no S tier. He's no A tier. I can't put him at B tier either. It's going to be C, D, or F. Albert. Thank you, Albert. So Albert, he does try to help. He does sort of befriend Ned in the math episodes. So it's not F tier. It's C or D. Okay. He's not all that positive of a character. He has some definite negative vibes going on. He does try and help out a couple of times. You guys are saying C, or one person, or JJ Zone said C. I don't know. He might be a C. I guess because I don't remember him just blatantly breaking the rules. He's like a low C in my book. He could be a D. But I'll give him C. I'll give him a low C on that one. All right, this Missy is a duplicate, so that means the last one is Mr. Chop Saw. Here we go. Mr. Chop Saw. He's going to be way up there. He's a good teacher, a great mentor. If it weren't for a few statements he has made and a few actions he has taken in the series, I would give him S tier. I would love to give him S tier just because I like him, and we've got a donation. So I'm going to stop. Orbulon Thunderdex with $4.99 donation. Orbulon says, I met the Neds Declassified, the main trio, at a convention, and they were nice. Okay, they were very nice. And he says, Daniel recognized me from my first convention I went to. Somebody said they went to, it might have been you, said that they went to a convention and told them, about Principal Reacts and everything. Again, I wish, if you've seen their podcast, they don't just use profanity, every once in a while, which I don't like either. It's like every word. Please, you don't have to do that. Anyway. Thank you very much, Orbulon Thunderdex, for the donation. That's pretty cool. Going to see them at conventions. I may look at that, see where they're going to be. Anyway, Mr. Topsaw, if it weren't for a few things he did, particularly on the one where he has the buzzsaw that's kind of crazy, and Mose does that project, or that may not be the same episode. She has that project that's getting judged, and he's like, tell him you love him, whatever. You don't say that to kids, okay? And then the other things, if he would just give advice that wasn't always relationship based, I would give him S tier. I would love to give him S tier. I almost think he's deserving of S tier. However, because of some of the things he has said to particularly Ned and Mose, it's just too close. You can't do that as an educator. People have lost their jobs over little comments that they've made to students about relationship issues. So even if they've wanted to help and meant nothing by it, they've gotten in trouble. So I would love to see him up here at S tier, but I have to give him A tier. I think he's very deserving of A tier. He's a solid A tier. I think that he's way up there. Okay, here's the list. Here's the tier list. We are done with the tier list. So way down here on F tier, we didn't have but 3. I was kind of surprised. We had Bitsy, Mr. Powell, and Mr. Lowe. They deserved it. D tier, we had Cookie, we had iTeacher, we had Jock, Gordy. I'm sorry. I cannot in good conscience. If I gave him S tier, people on the internet would say in the comments, what kind of principal are you condoning everything he did? I would get those sort of comments. Anyway, Dr. Xavier, Mr. Comeover, and the lunch lady, D tier, they're just sort of meh, or they made a lot of mistakes. We've got, on C tier, we've got Missy, Evelyn, Loomer, Doris, Mr. Krubs, Crony, the Oboe twins, and this guy. Forgot his name again. Sorry. And then B tier, we've got Susie. We've got Coach Durga, the nurse. We've got Seth, Coconut Head, Claire. No, that's not Claire. That's Backpack Boy. We've got Feynman, and we've got Vanessa, all very solid characters. A tier, to me, S tier and A tier, the really good ones. Sad Doggo. Oh, Sad Doggo brought up something, a great question, because they donated and I saw it. So, Sad Doggo, $2 donations. Hey, did you forget Mr. Quest, one of my favorites? Yes, Mr. Quest. We forgot Mr. Quest. So, Mr. Quest, if I were to, let's pretend that this Missy is well, that won't look right, will it? Okay. So, Mr. Quest, and I can't put Missy back. Anyway, I guess this will be Mr. Quest. Mr. Quest, he's positive, very positive. Never seen him get mad, Now, because of his conduct on the bus episode, he ain't getting S tier or A tier. I cannot. But he got so many potential firings on that episode. And also, there was one where he played VR all day and may have improperly managed the budget for his little club. that's pretty serious. That can get you fired. I think, but he doesn't deserve F tier. I think he's higher than D. I would love to put him at A or B tier, you guys, but because of Mr. Quest's actions on that episode, he basically embezzled funds to pay for his VR set that was supposed to be for an expert, as Mr. Sweeney said, and his crazy bus driving and his improper talking about his relationship or whatever. He's C tier. That's my rating for Mr. Quest. Thank you, Sad Doggo, 2504 for the donation and for reminding me. And then up at A tier, we've got Ned himself, Mr. Sweeney, Martin. We've got Mr. Monroe. We've got Lisa, and we've got Mr. Chopsaw, all some of the best characters in the show. And then way up on S tier, we ended up with Mose, the Weasel, S tier. We've got Claire and Mr. Wright. I think this is solid. I stand behind my ratings. I don't want to change any of them. I stand behind my ratings. If you are watching this after the stream, let me know in the comments of this video what you thought. Do you agree with my ratings? I'm going to read a few messages. Here's my question to you. Okay. We'll finish out on this. I cannot go back and read all these unless you donated. I'm sorry, I just can't. So today is 3 years. And at the beginning of this stream, you guys told me how you found the channel. So now what I want to know is, and this is not just to make me feel good, it's to help me kind of direct. We're entering the 4th year of the channel, right? What do you enjoy most about School Principal Reacts? In other words, why, and I don't mean me personally, I mean the channel. Why, when you see my videos, why do you click on them? Okay, so think about that for a minute, and I want to hear your answer, and I will read all your answers to that question. Not other random statements, but if you answer that question, I will read it on stream. Okay, what do you like about School Principal Reacts? Not like what video do you want to see next? Sometimes I do ask that, but I want to know what keeps you coming back to the channel. What do you like about the channel? That would be excellent feedback for me. The Book of Dark, still watching on Monday afternoon over in Australia, $2, says rank Principal Victoria from South Park. I would love to. I'm not going to be able to watch South Park at least until after I retire, maybe, which is still some time. Okay, so you're answering, and we'll finish out the stream with this, but not until after I read all the messages. So what do you like about the channel? What keeps you coming back for more? Why watch School Principal Reacts, the YouTube channel? All right. Okay, so let's see. The first answer to that question, and you can see me scrolling down on screen. Muse Store says, I found your channel by your SpongeBob. Okay. Spike Bebop 96. I think this is the first one that tried to answer it. The question. Spike Bebop says, love the information you give on school-related topics. Okay, all right. And I feel like that's what makes this channel unique. You can go see 1,000 reaction channels where it's just some random person. And listen, I have respect for all YouTubers, most YouTubers. I'm not the people who pull shenanigans. But other reactors, I'm fine with them, but I feel like what we bring to the table is the school-related topics. JJ Zone says, because they're entertaining and make me happy. I really appreciate that, JJ. Orc Toast, or no, I am looking for answers to my question. Hold on. I'm not going to skip anybody's. If you're answering this question, I will not skip your message no matter what, okay? Miss Key, Teacher's Pet Level member, says, I love the educational content. I love learning new things. Appreciate that. Appreciate all your support. Let me just say that. Dragon Flare Frog 1424 says, I enjoy your reaction to the extreme scenarios because of how professional you are. It's really funny to see a professional react to insane or interesting scenarios. Yeah, and I've heard that. Some things are too insane or extreme for the channel, but I know that you like to see me, get freaked out or whatever. And all of my reactions are genuine. Like if you see me freak out or get grossed out, that's real. I mean, that's real. I don't fake reactions. All right. What else? Andres says, I liked reactions from experts. It's always fun to see someone react blindly to some good shows. Yep. Appreciate that. Brian Hicks says, I enjoy your reactions because they're refreshingly honest and entertaining. Appreciate it. Mike, the Go Animator, channel member, just says, I love your videos. Reedley says, the shows and the info you give. I try to, pepper in that info on there for you guys. All right, so the question is, what keeps you coming back to the channel? And this is for me to use on future content. HS Town says, to hear about how schools work, always interesting to hear how accurate or inaccurate videos are. Andre says, I also liked games of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We're going to play again. We're not done with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Mondo Makar says, I like to see my favorite moments funny or emotional in shows and seeing if you enjoy them as much as I did. Also seeing a different perspective on what moments you liked best. Hitomi EXE says, I like to watch you while I'm in the gym since my workout days line up with your upload schedule. That's pretty cool. So you're in there working out, listening to my reaction. Cool. Kaimani says, I like your authentic reactions to the different videos, especially when you sometimes get grossed out. I also like your perspective on different things and get a principal POV. Awesome. Thank you, Kaimani. Oric Toast says, the positive attitude and good atmosphere. Because there are plenty of reactors out there that have negative attitudes. I mean, I've seen them before. Most of us are all right, though. Dylan Danson says, I enjoy your commentary, your analysis of the school scenes, and how you made the television goofiness more real. I enjoy your content and videos because they're both entertaining and informative. Appreciate that, Dylan. You're okay. I'm looking for the answer to the question, what keeps you coming back to the channel? Why watch my videos? Sad Doggo says, hard to describe, but I think the channel reminds me of good times in school. I generally really like to see professionals break down or debunk entertainment media. Yeah, I do too. That's how I started the channel. I too like to see professionals, and I searched for a principal, not for me, but for me to watch it, and it did not exist, so I started it. Awesome Crazy says, I also really like your cool intros, well thought out principal responses along with potential firings, and I especially love when you cosplay for a new video, like wearing Man Ray's goggles. Yeah, you can thank my thumbnail designer for that. Shout out to him if he's listening on here or rewatching it. Turner Winstead says, I like about your channel school lessons that I could tell my principal. Okay. Dylan says, your overall presence here on YouTube and Discord make my days better, and I feel like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I definitely appreciate your videos when I've had a rough day. I really appreciate that, Dylan. You add a lot to that, especially in the Discord. Crabbiest Cake says, your reactions, they're hilarious. EMBR Crit says, I really enjoy your reaction from and like to observe it from a principal's perspective. And we're answering the question, what keeps you coming back to the channel? Bob Lee says, I just enjoy your content, always entertaining. Samantha Robinson says, I enjoy the shows you cover, and you cover a lot of my favorite episodes. Awesome Crazy says, I like why you're taking off your shades like Krubs. Yep. Danjo the Mysterious says, seeing a literal school principal react to videos, mostly school related, is such an interesting take on the React formula on YouTube. That's what keeps me coming back. I appreciate it. The Gamer Boy says, I like how when you react to the content, it is kind of interesting seeing how an actual principal reacts to these situations that are outlandish or more for TV viewing audience. Okay, yeah, a few people have said that, like a really serious person reacting to something crazy. I'll keep that in mind. Muse Store says, I love your reaction to the SpongeBob episodes. somebody who hasn't commented yet. Jacob White says, I like seeing your unique perspective on shows from my childhood. I think it's interesting to see what you think of different situations. The Book of Dark says, the school principal reacts, I love the look on your face. Yeah, when I get surprised or grossed out. Isaac has been watching this channel since I had less than 1,000 subscribers, I do believe. Isaac says, which I do appreciate, Isaac, you've been a part of the channel for a long time. He says, I like how your reactions have full content. I try, I can't do true full content, but I try as much as possible. Copyrights are tough. Dan Joe said, by the way, the first video I watched, yep, New Student Starfish. There you go. Larry Jester says, I like the gameplays, especially the Dicky game. You're very positive, even when the characters in the shows are misbehaving. Yep, just good, clean content. Yep, that is right. You'll never hear me curse. I can promise you that. Okay, almost done here. Orbulin says, I love that you as a principal, you react to stuff and gave a realistic way of how this would be handled for many TV shows. I try to do that. I try to say, like, in real life, this would happen. Like Begging on Your Knees, which is coming up for Victorious. How that would be handled in real life. You guys will see. You guys will see. Ashley Nicole Cook says, I love it when we react to school scenes. You're at the end. Hank, I am at the end, and I'm at the end of this live stream. And almost 2 hours exactly. Every single time, 2 hours. And I'm starting to get tired, and I'm going to have to quit. Thank you all for joining me. Today is the 3rd anniversary of the channel. We've got our tier list here. I'm going to try and save it here for you guys and for myself as well. Thank you for joining me. Really, really appreciate it. I appreciate all the donations. Consider them birthday presents to the channel for turning 3 years old. Thank you to all the channel members, all the subscribers, which if you're not a subscriber, you need to at least do that if you're on the stream. All the commenters, all the viewers who never comment, that's fine too. Really appreciate you guys' participation tonight. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. We've got Peter Pie. Peter Pie, I've not seen you on the channel in a long time, my friend. You are a channel legend. I have not forgotten about you. Peter Pie just donated 5 Principal Reacts Gifts memberships, which were received by Mondo Makar, Isaac Magumbo, Spike Bebop, Jacob White, and Orbulon Thunder. I think you get Hall Pass, which you don't get all the benefits, but still it's a free membership. You can upgrade if you want. You don't have to. Thank you, Peter Pie, for the channel memberships. Really appreciate your support and engagement with the channel over time. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here in a minute. Appreciate your participation as I end. I am kind of tired. I enjoyed it. This was really good. Thank you all for all the great feedback. If you're watching this on the replay, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. That will be a free birthday present you can give to the channel. Also, let me know down below, did you agree with the tier list ranking and why? And if you're watching on the replay and you weren't on the stream, tell me. I want to know down below. I want to hear from you. When did you start watching the channel? Like what video or when, nearabouts? Or tell me what keeps you coming back? Like, what do you like most about the channel? Do you agree with some of the other commenters here on the stream? I'm going to end the stream now. It's been 2 hours. I'm really tired. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you. When will I see you? I'll see you Tuesday for Victorious. Tori Tortures Teachers, finally online. We might just premiere it, so watch out for a premiere. I'll see you next time. Have a great evening, or have a great day if you're the Book of Dark over in Australia. And I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.